Hey guys, this is your girl Daphne Hilton, and you are tuning in to Let's Go to Church Gospel Show with Big Ben.
For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise. Oh, for every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you've seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise. Oh, for this I give you praise.
Hey family, it's Marcus Jordan, and you're tuned into Let's Go to Church Gospel Show with Big Ben.
Hey guys, this is your girl Daphne Hilton, and you are tuning in to Let's Go to Church Gospel Show with Big Ben.
For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise. Oh, for every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you've seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise. Oh, for this I give you praise. For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise.
Has always been a matter of respect. As long as you respect one another, you can get a lot accomplished.
You brought me over, for every trial you've seen me through,
We got five.
for this I
Alright, man, so y'all gonna make me start telling jokes with me.
For every trial you've seen me through, for every blessing. Hallelujah, for this I give you praise.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Get Ben, and you're tuning into another episode of Let's Go to Church Gospel Show, guys. I need everybody to share. Let me turn it on, my eyes hurting. I need everybody to share this live, invite people to this live. We have a very special guest tonight. Before we invite him on, let me tell y'all a little bit about him. He's a singer, songwriter, a recording artist. He's a multi-award-winning composer, writer, once again. He has a group called Sign. I'm just waiting till he gets I think he's ready. And let me see him backstage. Let me see if he's... Let me see. I'm going to play a promo, so I'll be right back.
Getting ready to do something big in my life. Come on, attach your faith to it and declare it now. God's getting ready to do something big in my life. Oh, your faith is rising now as you say it. Raise it loud. God's getting ready to do something, sir. God's getting ready. Ooh, God's getting ready. Hey, God's getting ready to do something big. Here we go. Big in my life. 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 Says yes indeed. Said it won't be long. Things are happening so fast that your head's gonna swim. One thing fast on the heels of the other. You will be able to keep up with it. You will be able to keep up with it. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Miracles, miracles, miracles.
Guys, before we invite Mr. Nate on, guys, make sure you go and get your tickets for Connecting the Dots Tour, Creatives and Entrepreneurs Edition. It's going to be in Chicago, guys. It's going to be 11 to 3 p.m. I'm so happy. I'm actually very happy to be going on tour. This is our very first stop for Connecting the Dots tour. And I do all the marketing and everything. But if you see on the social medias, I do the marketing, I do the promotion, the e-blast. So that's what I do. This is our very first stop. This one's something different from our the rest of the stops we're going to be doing. This one's just for only, but I think every artist is a creative anyways. So make sure you get your tickets for that. And then our next stop is coming very soon. We will be announcing it very soon. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to play another promo. Play another promo, and once I play another promo, we will be talking to. Let me play a clip from Squalor Fest March 2023. Let me tell you, my choir that I sing with is amazing. Let me tell you, it's something else. But we had a good time at Squalor Fest now, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that. the choir I sing with, I'm telling you guys, we swallow. I'm telling you, I can't wait to sing with them again. I think our next, the next day I'm going to is going to be in July. We're going to be singing at the GMWA, so I'm excited about that. So now our guest is back on, Mr. Nate Martin.
Hey.
How you doing? So now it's working. Now the sound want to work and everything want to work now.
Working now.
So how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm living. You know, I'm enjoying life. I'm glad to be alive. Some people didn't make it, and I'm so happy to be the one that did make it. So I'm glad about it.
Testimony.
Yes, sir. So let's go all the way back. The little Nate. Let's go back then. How'd you get your inspiration of singing and writing and directing choirs and groups and arranging stuff like that? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So majority of my family is from Mississippi, and I have a family of musicians and singers as well. Most of them are out there down south in Mississippi as well. Just growing up, I would go there every Christmas, and we would all gather around the piano, sing songs, whatever. So that's really where that started. And then when I turned 5, or on my 5th birthday, my gift from my parents and grandparents was music lessons. So I started taking formal piano lessons at the age of 5, and then I stuck with that. I added on private voice lessons as well, and I was at that music school until I was about 16. Mm-hmm. So I was there for about 11 years, and of course, growing up in church as well. I grew up at Evangelistic Crusaders Church of God in Christ here on the south side of Chicago, and kind of was in the youth choir, children's choir, Sunshine Band there as well. So between all those things, I guess that's where the passion formed.
Okay. So is it like one particular artist that inspired you to sing as well?
I'm an old head, so just pretty much anything old. We were always listening to, like I said, anything old. My favorite artist of all time is Aretha Franklin, so that's one. And then gospel-wise, I studied Andre Crouch and the Disciples a lot. So a lot of people, if you listen to like their records from like the 70s, you can kind of compare some of the things I do with Nate Martin Sign musically, and just in general too, what Andre Crouch did with the Disciples as well.
Yeah, I like Andre Crouch too. Like a lot of people don't know, I am an old head. I was raised by a bunch of old folks, so I love good old school music. I like the cassette players and the vinyl records. I'm like very old school.
So yeah, I get them all.
And they said, what is the name of the music school?
Okay, it's a small music school in Blue Island. It's called Blue Island School of Music. I believe they're still open. I've driven past. They're still open. They do all lessons, voice, piano, they violin, all that, and drums to guitar. So yeah.
Wow. I can't do no music school. I'm kind of glad my parents didn't force me to go into like music, and I kind of had got that the singing passion. Matter of fact, I think it was my freshman year. Freshman year, I sung all through concert choir. I did a little show choir, then I did all that, and then middle school I did band, but it was not like forced, or it wasn't like, okay, you have to do it like my mother was. Growing up, I come from a singing background. My grandfathers and them used to sing in a quartet group back in the day with his brothers, and yeah, so I come from a background of singing as well, so I understand when you have singing all the time. I remember going to church, then after my mom and her sisters have singing group, they have to do a gig or something. We go to the gig, all the cousins, and we all just go sit on the front row. We cheer them on. So I remember them days.
That is.
Yes, sir. Classical or black music? Oh, Lord. Mr. Maurice, classical or black gospel?
The Q&A today. I actually just had this conversation earlier. I think that I got the best of both worlds. I got the black gospel from the church, and then simultaneously as a young boy, like as a little kid, I was also exposed to the other side of music as well, which would have been the theory and the classic, the classical music, right, as well, jazz standards, which a lot of times we're not exposed to both at the same time. Because I've even just graduating college, I saw the kids that when they got to college, that was their first time being exposed to that other side of music as well. So I'm kind of glad I had that exposure. Like I call it the best of both worlds at a young age, because it definitely helped, everything I was doing at the time as well.
So, are you able to read music? Because there's a lot that are not able to read music.
Yeah, no, I can read it. I prefer not to, but I can read it.
I agree with you. It is a little. When I say it's a little challenging. I had got taught to read music when I was doing band, and then my freshman year in high school, we had to take like a certain course during choir. You had to learn how to play the piano and read the music at the same time. So I can do it a little bit. I'm not really that good, but I prefer not to do it. So now, how did you get into the industry? Guys, he's young, and when he started, he was young. So how old were you when you started, and why did you start in the industry?
It was 2016, so it was literally, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before my 15th birthday. So I was 14, literally about to go on the 15th at the time. That was 7 years ago. Why did I had always wanted to start my own group. Like I said, I was a big Andre Crouch and the Disciples fan. Is that Marcus? What's up?
Yes,
I was a big Andre Crouch Disciples fan. I just loved gospel music. I loved watching, everything on BT that came when I was gospel. Let's not forget Bobby Jones gospel either. So anything, I mean, that was everything I was, watching before church and during the week or whatever. And like I told you, I'm an old head. I was watching Jubilee Showcase at like 12. So, and I knew I wanted to start a group. I knew, but I just didn't know how. So I literally made a post on Instagram. I was like, who want to join the group? And the rest, honestly, is history. I won't necessarily say that you asked the question about the music industry. I would say it took me a while to really get into it, but of course I'm young now, but I was a kid. I was literally 15 years old my freshman year of high school, starting this group. And there was really no blueprint for groups. Chicago's a choir city. We have groups, of course, and Chicago's a very supportive city. Still, get the most of my support here in Chicago. But there was no blueprint. There was no like, oh, this is the person that you go to when you're starting a group to ask, all the ins and outs. So a lot of stuff I had to figure out on my own. And I kind of feel like that was a blessing in disguise as well, because I was able to kind of figure out what I wanted to do personally instead of, just taking up after what somebody else did. So yeah, that was pretty much, how I started the group.
Guys, I'm telling y'all, his group got a unique sound. It's different. I had listened to some of your music, and it's different from any other group. It's kind of giving me like the early GA, Ty Trippett GA vibe. So, but I like GA. So, I like it. I like your music, and I like how you portray it through the songs and stuff, guys. So let me go and get. I gotta show y'all this. So this is one of his very first albums. So let's talk about this very first project. What was your how do I say it? What was your expectations from this album? Now that you're further along now, do you think that there was some things that you should have changed about this album, or you just think it's perfect how it is?
I'm low key a perfectionist just a little bit when it comes to how I want music to sound. And that's really, like I told y'all, I started playing piano first when I was 5. So I'm able to give those directions to my musicians, like, let's try, an alternate route or whatever. We recorded that album in 2018. I was 17, and we recorded. It was my first live recording as well. I'm a live recording type person. I really don't like the studio at all. And we did it at Archbishop William Hudson's church like I said, there was no blueprint, for planning a live recording. So there's two sides to the album. There's the live recording side that night of, and then there was the actual making of the album happened afterwards. Planning the live recording was definitely an experience. Like I said, I was 17 and didn't really know, like, this is how you do a live recording.
Right.
And I didn't really have a lot of connections at the time to even reach out to either. But, it's just important when God tells you to do something, just go ahead and do it. Even if you feel like disqualified, or you don't really know exactly what you're doing. Like, the Holy Spirit will literally tell you what to do as far as how to plan these events and do, whatever the Lord told you to do. And we ended up doing that night. I think that it went over really great. But looking back at the album now, of course, that was like 5 years ago.
Right.
Of course, there would be some things I would change, but there would be things that 22-year-old me would change, not 17-year-old me or 18-year-old me when it came out. Just because your first project, especially when you're, like I said, I was still a kid, so
Yeah.
I don't really expect much else. Now I'm not saying that if you're 40 and you release your first project, it should sound like that. Because as you get older, you know more. So yeah, there would definitely be some things I would change. I haven't really listened to that project in a while. Just because there's so much. There's a project that that's not even out yet. So I'm getting other things together and then still promoting this last project that just came out. But definitely some things that I would change now. But the music, I wrote all the songs on that album, except for I want to say like 2 of them. Those were covers, but other than that, I think for a 17-year-old to write an entire album, to arrange the music, be able to give it to the band, and teach it, to the singers, and execute a night of a live recording at 17, I would pat 17-year-old me on the back right now.
Yeah, that's honestly, I think that's amazing because they already overlook the younger people anyways. Because I know I'm not having. When I started in radio, I was 17 when I started in radio. So I kind of know how it feels. You had to figure it out on your own. You had no guidance. Of course, I had my guidance from my parents and stuff because they were in radio. But I'm talking about that support system.
Right.
For me, support system wasn't really there. I got the support system now that I'm 23 now. But yes, I completely understand. You just don't see a lot of young people that's doing the work of the Lord like this. You just don't, and
That's true.
It's sad. I wish there's more of us that's doing this. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story of its own. I can blame the church about certain things. They like to be judgmental, and the church people can be something else. I had talked to one of my friends the other day, and she knows of the Lord. She's like, she was talking to one of her other friends that was there at the counter. It was like, well, y'all just, honestly, you're the first Christian I know that is not judgmental and just not rude for no reason. They just think that all church people are rude. I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's the people they encounter. But I know I went off topic. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But yes, I'm just like, we have some good Christians around here. It's not, you just got to find the right ones.
That's true.
I'm the right one, and I'm pretty sure you are too. I have not met you in person, but I know you're going to do right. I already know.
Yes, sir.
So now, okay, I probably switched it out. I should have put this one first. Is this one before that? My bad.
That's the first song that I ever released. And yeah, it looked like it's the first song I ever released too. But it was called Nothing Too Hard, as y'all see. We released that, I want to say October 2017. So 2 years before the first album. And actually the young lady that leads the end part of this song, she still sings in my group now. She's the only founding member of the group that's still in the group today. And we actually re-recorded this song 2 years ago. It came out last year, I think in October, on the last album as well. So I love listening to this and then listening to the one that we released last year too, because it's such a difference. But this was a time. Definitely this was the first single.
I'm telling you, I know, I know for sure. I know you'd be like, okay, you listen to that, and then you listen to new re-record. Oh my gosh, my voice has changed completely. And I know as guys, some of us start really high, and now, when you get older, you get that, you get a little more bass in your throat, and then you don't sing as high as you normally do, and you got to use your falsetto. So, do you use your falsetto a lot, or are you just gonna sing straight like that?
So honestly, I'm kind of studying my voice, seeing how it doesn't, and I don't know if it's the music student in me, but I'm very curious to see why my voice does what it does a lot of times. So I pay attention to what my voice does in certain conditions. Like, if it's warm outside, if it's cold outside, or like, stuff like that. So I'm starting to really pay attention, kind of track what my voice does in certain conditions, as I said. And oddly, my range is expanding to a certain, and it's like, it's weird because when our bodies are changing, typically, like you said, the male voice does get deeper, and it did. My voice, even my talking voice, isn't the same as it was then. However, just working on your gift, and I kind of know what I want my voice to sound like as well.
Right.
And when you can play, you can stretch yourself as well. I don't know if it's gonna get any, I don't think my voice is getting higher, but the range itself, I'm getting more comfortable and learning what was my new voice maybe 5 years ago. I don't really use my falsetto too much. My music is very how can I'm just say it's a little too much to be using your falsetto sometimes. So yeah, I don't really do it too much now.
Oh, okay. So I understand. 'Cause I know for sure for me, my vocal range has changed completely. I used to be able to sing high and I can just hit up there. Now I'm like, Lord, I can't even hit up that high no more. I just can't. And they were like, my choir teacher, when I went to her retirement party, she had me sing something at the retirement party. She's like, and then after she said, "You sound so good, but babe, you don't even sound as high as you were about 3 or 4 years ago." I was like, Miss Wilson, I'm growing. I'm older. I'm older.
Right.
My voice does change. But yes, it just brought back memories. I don't know. This is bringing back memories, and it was good memories. Honestly, really good memories. Very. I honestly could say the singing for long, like 4 or 5 hours straight, and I don't miss that. If that makes sense, because it had a strain on my voice, and then I'd be hoarse by the time the concert starts. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it was good training. It's training my voice to do what I need to do, and I need to go back to be training my voice as much as I used to, because I used to do that vocal training on YouTube all the time. It helps. So now we're gonna go to another single that y'all had dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you now. I got you. Jesus is Lord. So let's tell us the process. Cause I know you wrote this. Did you write this?
Yes, I wrote it.
So tell us the process of writing that, and just how you felt when this came out. Because a lot of people had, some people have like a story, like a horror story or something like that.
Mm.
I wrote this out of pain, or I wrote this out of that. So what was that?
This story, I don't really have I'm not even gonna let his name in this one of those. It's Jesus is Lord is really just one of those feel good songs, like it. And I tell people all the time, it's like funk, quartet, choir music, praise and worship, in like the same song. I don't know how we put all that in 5 minutes of a song, but we did. We recorded that live at our 5th year anniversary. That was 2021. That was 2 years ago. But I wrote the song on top of 2020. I want to say January. And we had planned to record it at our live recording. We were going to do it that May. And of course, everything happened, with the shutdown and everything with the pandemic in March. So we actually, everything got delayed a whole year.
Right.
So the version that y'all probably would have heard would have sounded so much different. It had we actually recorded it in 2020. But I'm grateful that, you know, we had that time to sit on it and still, you know, perfect it or whatever. I'm not even gonna lie, I really just wrote the song, but I don't know. I kind of have that where um I can't I can't just say, oh, I'm gonna write a song today. Like I don't have that capability. I know people that just pull songs out of their throat. I don't have it. So the Lord literally has to just give it to me, and I have to get straight to it. My mind is horrible, by the way, so I have to get straight to it. I can't prolong it. If I'm out, I have to record it on my phone first and my voice memos. But once I start typing on my notes the song, it literally just, you know, flows. So I do have some songs that have some stories, but Jesus is Lord, it really it's just one of those feel good songs that, you know, I was just at my keyboard and literally God just gave it to me from there. Fun fact about that song though, we released it a year ago. Let me think. The single came out in April. To this day, that is our number one song right now. The most played song ever. Like it has surpassed the music that I released years ago. So I want to say that might be like our fan base's favorite song. It has to be because I've been checking the last few weeks and it's been number one for a few months now. So
Wow. Well, it's an anthem. Basically, it's an
yeah,
anthem.
yeah, pretty much. Jesus is Lord always. Of everything, He rules and reigns. Wouldn't have it any other way. Jesus is Lord. Yeah, it's a declaration. Yeah, anthem.
Decoration. Come on, decoration.
Yep. And then we get to that He rules and He reigns drive. That's good. That's good church right there.
I'm telling you, good church. So now y'all had got awards from the Eddy Awards and the Gospel Choice. So what was you're in the industry and you're like, oh my gosh, I got nominated for an award and then you won it. So what was your reaction? What was your emotions? How you were feeling at that time?
So that first award was the Eddy Award that we won back in February 2020, the month before the shutdown. It was in Jacksonville, and we were nominated for Group of the Year and Album of the Year. So they called for Group of the Year, and we didn't get it. A good friend of mine did get it, so we were happy. And so they announced, they were like, okay, we're about to announce Album of the Year. I'm just gonna like, Lord, if my whole group came down here, flew all the way from Chicago to Jacksonville, and we didn't win this award, I don't know what I'm finna do. I mean, so it was like a very tense moment because we already hadn't gotten the other award, and this was the first award that this is the first, you know, awards that we were ever nominated for. So we ended up getting Album of the Year for the Sign Language album, the one that she put up early, that first album. And no, I was shocked, but I was very happy. Like I said, when you bring, well, I didn't really bring, but when 8 other people come down there from your group to that award show, you know, you hope you come back with something.
Right.
And I was very, you know, glad that something was able to show, you know, for the work that we have been doing. We worked really hard on that album, even though we were kids, but we worked really, really hard. You know, going back and forth from studio sessions for overdubs and stuff like that. And even though we were kids, we still had to pay what a live recording costs. So yeah, there's no student fee or student discount for live recordings. So you know, but I was definitely glad to get that award that year too.
Wow. And then the Gospel Choice, you got that in 2021. Matter of fact, I think that's the year I was supposed to go and I ended up not going. But how did you feel about that? Because, you know, this is your second one, you know. What was your reaction about that?
There were a lot of heavy hitters actually on both award shows. So I'm like, Group of the Year. All of us didn't go to that one, but one of my other singers, her name is Tiana Menzies. She won Praise and Worship Leader of the Year that year as well. So she won right before us, and then she ended up going right back up because they called our name for Group of the Year. I think it's just good to be acknowledged. It's not about the awards, but people want to feel appreciated. So that's why, anybody with an award show, and it doesn't have to be the Stellar Awards, it's just good to be acknowledged, So, just as, like I said, just as the Eddy Awards, it was an honor again to be recognized for the work that I was doing, even at, what was I in 2021? I was 20 years old. So definitely appreciative and honored to, get that award as well.
I'm telling you, I know when I got my first award, I was like, look at God. I feel like I accomplished something, if that makes sense. It makes you feel like all your work is not in vain.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I was ecstatic and everything. But hey, many more to come. God willing. I'm just saying, many more to come. So we got a bunch of questions in these comments. Let me go ahead and give these comments
Okay.
out. Maurice is gonna ask you questions all night.
No, I love it.
As a child, were there any aspiration to sing with the soul children?
I knew of them, but I grew up in church, but I didn't grow up in the church world. We weren't at the church I grew up in, we weren't really exposed to the gospel singing. Let me say it like that. So until I started my own group, I didn't really know who was out here, doing musicals and concerts and really, doing that type of stuff. So I really personally didn't have any aspirations to join Soul Children because I just think I wasn't really aware.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people. I know plenty of Soul Children now. They're cool people. They're really cool people. But I've never been in it.
He said Soul Children. I really don't know who that is. So
if you know, oh Lord, how excellent. That's
him.
Yeah, that's Soul Children.
Why did I thought that was Mississippi Mass Choir?
All right, next question. Next question.
Oh God, man, y'all forgive me, guys. Y'all forgive me. I thought that was Mississippi Mass Choir.
No.
That's my song, though. But I just don't be paying attention. That's another thing. Y'all forgive me. Y'all don't charge my heart. I just don't be paying attention to the names, and I should. I should. It depends on the person. Like, okay, you got the Pay Sisters, you got the Park Sisters. I listen to the names of that, or Mary, stuff like that, or Milton Bertram and Ricky Diller. I pay attention to the lyrics of that or the wording of that. It just depends. I didn't know too much about that group. Choir. It's a choir, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you looked at me crazy when I said group.
No, listen, it's all good.
So, guys, I got to tell you this. Okay, I'm about to show this picture. When I tell you this green, it took me back to just. Let me just show y'all this green of this group. Oh my God, this green is amazing. Oh my goodness, like it's just an inspiration. Like I just want a green suit now. Like I got to get me a green suit.
I can't wear mine no more, so somebody can.
What you mean you can't wear it no more? Is it too big?
I wish it was too big. No, it's a little fitted, more fitted than it was when I bought it. So just give me a few months. I'll be able to put it back on again.
It's fine. Hey, big people are in. I'm big.
Right. Yeah, it's in for real.
I'm telling you. So guys, they can dress. When I tell you this group can dress.
Now that event required that. That's different. That's different. That required that we did that was the live recording that we did last year. So that's the project that isn't out yet. That was at Lincoln Park Zoo here. So we did a part 2 to King of the Wild. And I'm like, why not, do it in the wild? So we took it to the zoo and we had like an elegant night. It was almost like a gala style event. Everybody, was supposed to dress up. And then we had a dinner before the concert as well. So it was really nice.
You said y'all had recorded at a zoo?
We had a recorder.
Wow. I heard it all, but that's different.
Yeah, that's what we go for. We go for different.
That's different. I have heard it all. I heard we recorded at a park or something like that. But a zoo, I would never thought of that. You guys, I gotta put his little back cover up. I gotta tell y'all, King of the Wild. So this has not been released yet, right? This one's released,
That
right?
that album was released, right?
So the Green Album, y'all have another album that's about to be released.
Yeah, that's King of the Wild Part 2.
Part 2. Oh, you had that much songs? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we got a little bit more creative with that one too. There's a I'm gonna let y'all in. There's a remake of Can You Feel the Love Tonight from Lion King, and this one is called Won't You Bless the Lord Tonight, but it's the same song. So yeah, we got creative with it. We did a lot on it. There's a tribute to Dr. Ludella Evans Reed and Fellowship on there. We did 2 of their songs they used to do, and then some more original songs that we have as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a great project. There's also a tribute to Andre Crouch on there. So yes, it's an amazing project. That one I can't wait for.
I'm excited. It's something new and something fresh, and we need it in the industry. Because not to be mean, I'm not coming for y'all artist people. So don't come in my inbox, because don't come in my inbox. But is that certain sound that everybody likes to do, that Maverick City sound? And I don't understand.
Turn that organ up, turn them strings off.
Yeah.
And let's go to church.
Yeah, I'm just like, Maverick City is okay, but I don't want to listen to that all day. I want to hear a little quartet. I want to hear a little church.
Well, I think that Maverick City is, I always say that God has multiple expressions. There are people that don't like quartet, or there are people that don't like choir music, but I think that Maverick City brings something different to the table. Whereas, there's no excuse for not listening to some type of God-related music.
Right.
So, if you like, that style of music in the world, because, gospel is always taken from secular, and secular is always let me really just say secular is always taken from gospel.
Right.
But if you like that kind of music, there's something that there's gospel rap, there's gospel hip hop, gospel traditional gospel. It's enough to pick from. So
yeah, it's a wide range of
right
music genres now, because I'm pretty sure it was not like that back in the day.
No,
just one strict sound. The old hymn note books and stuff back in the day. I ain't grow up Baptist, but I remember going to that Baptist church at that time, and them books, the hymn note books, to be confused me. Them confused me.
Lord, not confused. Read the word. That's all. Don't even look at the notes. Just read the words.
And keep in mind, I'm young at that age. I'm like 10, 11 years old. I'm over here. Oh, they'll say, get the little book and open it to this page. And then I'm standing, and I'm like, this is my first time at a Baptist church, because I grew up non-denominational.
Okay.
So I didn't have to deal with no books like that. It was it was weird to me. And I'm like, what are they saying? Like, do I read off of this? And then my aunt, she was like, you have to read in the book. Read that book. Read it. I was like, oh. I'm just like, why y'all doing all this extraness? I didn't understand.
That's crazy.
So I was like, wow. So guys, I got to show y'all a clip of them in ministry now. I'm telling you, they're going to take you in. And I'm going to try to contain myself, because I like to praise them. So.
January, February, March, y'all, April, y'all, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 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 all 2020, all 2020.
Lord, I heard that clip. I said, Lord, I'm going to be gone.
Please.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, you was gone, though. You was gone.
Well, see, so that was that record. That was that album, the King of the Wild album. That was the recording for that. And it's something, I say this all the time, it happened at the last recording. There's something about the third song at our recordings that take the Saints. I don't know what it is every time about that third song, because it happened at the zoo too. But that praise happened after we did Jesus is Lord and Nothing Too Hard. We mashed. Oh, okay, so it was our 5th year anniversary. So we mashed up the first single with what was going to be the new single. So we put together Jesus is Lord, Nothing Too Hard, and after that, Yeah, I was gone, but I have to bring it back because we had 4 more songs to do. So that's the thing about a live recording.
Yeah.
But now, there's certain things that you do during the song that people won't allow you to, not sing it when you do it. So every time we go to He Kept Me, they be like, "Can you do December?" I'm like, "Okay, y'all
Yeah.
get December."
No, you gotta do that. I'm telling you, you come sing with any events I do, that's a request.
Lord,
You start seeing now, you're gonna have everybody running around.
good
You're
God.
gonna have me, I might lose it.
Listen, I hope y'all got insurance.
I'm telling you, it's nothing good. Like it's good to have some good church. I love a good church. I'm telling you, like the Williams singers used to say, feel like having church.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yes, sir. Jocelyn's in the comments. Hi, Miss Karen. Thank you for everybody that is
Yeah,
on.
hey Jocelyn.
And I appreciate all y'all coming on here. So what is next for Nate Martin and Son?
What's next for Nate Martin Sign? That's a great question. I just graduated, so I have more time on my hands than I've ever had in my life. So I'm really waiting for what's next. Of course, we're finishing up the King the Wild 2 album. Yep, class of 2023. I'm waiting. We're still. Thank you. We're still waiting on. Let me not say waiting. We're still finishing up the King the Wild 2 album. So kind of putting my attention on that. Summertime is event time. So looked at our calendar yesterday, and July is full. August almost is too. I'm like, Lord, but that's what we signed up for. And then there's some more things we're working on. So this might be my first time mentioning it publicly. But there are 2 things that we're starting outside of our singing ministry that that was put on my heart to do, at least get into starting this year. So the first thing that we'll be really starting up that y'all will see is starting a music scholarship for Black students, Black musicians and singers who are going to college or currently in college studying music as well. We'll probably be, raising the funds, trying to build the money up so we can properly support the student. We put this in our meeting. I do a meeting with them at the top of every year, a recap from the last year and kind of just giving direction for what we'll be doing for this year. So that scholarship will be. We want to do it right. Like I said, we started talking about it in January, but I just didn't want to just put it together, and just try to. So I'm like, let's take a little time and build the money so we can give somebody a nice donation, a nice amount of scholarship money to go to school for music. Because I saw, a lot of people struggling in school while I was in music school as well. So definitely just, pay it forward. And then the second thing, this will be after the scholarship, but within, I don't even want to give it a time frame, but soon after that, we'll be starting up a grant for independent music artists in the city. So I think, what do we call it? Chicago Gospel Artist Project Fund. So basically, if you're starting up, like I said, there was no blueprint. So if you're starting up and you need a photo shoot for professional photos, or you need, $200 to go towards your website, I think there should be, a fund of money or whatever for up and coming artists that need help. If you're doing a live recording, I believe that you should be able to apply for a $500 grant, $1,000 grant that can, go towards what you're doing in your ministry. So, because if I'd had some help, listen, I would have been all right, because you don't want to struggle for money. Right. So, we're going to be starting that as well. We're going to open up to people in the city first. Hopefully, we can grow from there and do it for other, emerging artists around the country. Because I think everybody deserves a fair chance, to photo shoots and websites and nice flyers and all that other good stuff. So I would say just be on the lookout for that scholarship for the students and that grant as well. And then the new music. Think about doing a pop-up concert this summer. I don't know yet. I'm still talking over with them, but I'm thinking it'll be. I'm just gonna say it will be at the end of next month. So we're talking about it now to see. But I'm thinking about doing a pop-up concert this summer as well with the group.
I'm excited now. Let me know the date. If I like to go back to Chicago, I'll be in Chicago on the 24th. But I'll go back if I have to.
Listen, we're talking about it. I'm like, you think they're gonna come out there in the summer? We usually do a concert every year, and we usually do it around our anniversary time, which is May. We didn't do one this year. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been dog tired from as soon as I got back from Italy. It was time to go back to school, and I was just like, I needed a break. So I had graduation and my birthday all in May. So we really didn't have a concert planned for this year. So I'm just like, we might do the pop-up concert. We'll see.
Well, guys, y'all heard it here on the show. I make sure y'all stay connected to Mr. Nate. I'm telling you, and Sign, they're doing amazing things for the body of Christ. Oh, I just sounded so churchy right there. I sounded so. They're doing amazing things for the industry.
Not for the industry. Right the first time you in the body of Christ, right?
That was real churchy. Guys, so make sure you book them now. Book them for your next event, choir fest or something. Book them for a wedding. They come sing a song.
Listen, we'll be there. We have good church too.
Yeah, they're gonna take you to church. And I don't know about you. I like to go to. I keep on saying it, but I really do like to go to church for real. Like I like that good church feel. And then this time to worship. It's that time you have to worship. Lay before His feet. And then there's the time to go back, and then you gonna end up praising Him. And that's me. You can't take me nowhere because I end up praising everywhere. So that is me. So hopefully these events I'm going to be going to in the next week or so, that I control myself, especially on the Connected the Dots tour thingy. My first stop, make sure I control myself because it's not a church vibe, if that makes sense. And I'm going to try to go there, and I'm going to probably be gone. So I got help by the people on my team, the team I'm with. So and then make sure I come out to Kenny Lewis concert, guys. It's gonna be that night, so I'll be going there. I got me a VIP ticket. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm excited. I get to be on the front row, and I had bought me a new outfit so I can look good on camera.
As you should. Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if it's recording to DVD or something like that. I don't even think they do DVDs no more. Oh, I'm so old.
I remember the DVD and CD live recordings. It's okay.
I love those. I'm telling you, it's something about them CD DVD things. I like when they used to have them combos. You get the 2-disc CDs.
Yep.
You had the DVD in the back, and then you had the CD up front, and then it was the Wild Gospel 2-disc CDs I used to love. Oh my gosh!
I have a CD and DVD pack from Leandria's live recording. It was like 10 years ago, but I remember getting it too. I slapped that DVD in that computer, and I watched that whole thing.
I'm telling you, I have Ricky Diller Unplugged, his Unplugged album. It's like 2003. I have that DVD. I have all the Wild Gospels on DVD, and then I have the Anointed Pay Sisters, the Return album, but it's on DVD, the live recording for that. Then I had a few other stuff. I'm telling you, I like to collect a lot of stuff. And it becomes cluttered, and so I like to tape it up and pack it up because they don't really sell DVDs no more. It's out there, but they're expensive.
Right.
You go on Amazon, they're like $400. I'm like, I'm not paying $500 for no DVD player. My DVD player broke, so now I'll be playing that thing through my Xbox. So that might be ghetto, but that's the word that my DVD player broke. They don't sell it like that no more.
Right.
Okay, I just went off topic.
That's all right.
Oh Lord.
It's your show.
It's my show, but I'm supposed to stay on topic. But guys, make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Nate Martin and Sign. And Nate, do you have anything else that you want to let the audience know? And also give me your personal Instagram as well, so they can follow you on there too.
Yeah. I don't have anything else, I don't think. But I think they asked all the questions that I possibly could have brought up. On my personal Instagram is at I am Nate Martin. So definitely follow me on there. We pretty much try to post on both pages, especially now the Instagram has that collaboration thing. But early, you can find like me leading praise and worship and stuff. I don't think I talk about my church or whatever, but I'm on
Talk about your church.
No. It's all no, it's fine. But I'm just saying, if you want to like, see what I do outside the group as far as leading praise worship and stuff like that, I would say definitely follow my personal account as well.
Guys, he be going in there. That he be losing his stuff there too.
Listen,
It's the videos. He goes to Pastor. What's his name? Charles Jenkins.
he's retired now, but it's Pastor Reginald Wayne Sharp now.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm that behind. Oh wow.
About 4 years behind. Yeah.
4 years? Has it been that long?
Yeah, he retired right before the pandemic.
Wow. It means more though.
Yeah. Every day is a fight.
Oh wow, that's crazy, guys. I gotta update myself. I used to be like into all that stuff, but I've been so busy, I just forgot a lot of that stuff. So, guys, I had to update myself on a lot of
It's
things.
all right. I remember we went on the road and people would ask him like, "Do you have a church?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, he has a church."
Plug your church home. Yeah, you gotta plug your church home now.
What am I supposed to do? When the visitors used to stand up at the day, ask for a visitor's response in church, they would say, the God who's head of my life, I just want to acknowledge my pastor, Reginald Wayne Sharp Jr., Fellowship Baptist Church, located on the south side at 4543 South Princeton Avenue, where the founder is Reverend Clay Evans, and our pastor emeritus is Charles Jenkins, and our current pastor is Reginald Wayne Sharp Jr. Just came by to this show today to show my support. I just came to enjoy myself, so y'all be blessed.
Oh Lord, yeah. Honestly, I don't know if the people in the comments. I don't know if y'all remember them testimony services. Oh my gosh,
I remember testimony service. I've heard some testimonies now.
I'm telling you, they're something else. When I say, I remember they would have it at a certain time during the service. I think it was after the praise and worship. Actually, after the praise will go down, they'll bring somebody. I guess one of the treasurers. It was the treasurer that went up there and like, does anybody got a testimony? So we sitting there waiting for everybody, and some people would be scared to stand up. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I brought back memories. I'm getting off topic again. I need to stop getting off topic.
So right.
I remember. Yes. Okay. I ain't the only one that. It brings about good memories of good church and stuff. I'm not saying church is not good now, but I feel like churches are. I'm not saying all churches, but I feel like some of the churches that are out there all for a show, and we don't need to be doing it for the show now. We need to get the people, the unsaved, to come to the church and get saved. And even the people that are in the church get set free and delivered. Because deliverance is needed. We all deal with our own battles of certain things, and we all need it. We all fall short of His glory. So I just feel like churches. That's my big thing with churches now. But I'm a PK, so my dad's a pastor, so yeah. So it's different, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm done. I got my 1,000 words out today. So you sure you got everything? You got everything, Nate. You got everything.
Unless they have any more questions,
Y'all got any more questions for Nate? Where's Maurice? Because he was asking about 30 questions now.
He had good questions, though. He had good questions. They were specific. They were very.
Maurice is always like that. He's a what's it called? He's like a guru for like gospel.
He's a gospel historian. Yeah,
he's like he's good at what he do.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Thank you, Antoine. I appreciate it. That's one of our legendary churches. He's the MD in Minister of Music at Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer. So.
Oh, I know. That's my song. Jesus, work it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Danielle Williams.
Diane, yeah.
Diane Williams. Hey, don't judge me.
Okay.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
When you said we didn't know Soul Children, we knew then, so it's okay. It's okay.
It was the shade now.
No, it wasn't shade. It's just Chicago. We don't play about Chicago gospel music. We gave y'all what y'all know. That's a fact.
So you think that? Okay, this is another question. I'm just going. It's not about your brand, but you think that Chicago started all the gospel music, like where the sound is now? You think that's how it started?
Without sounding like a nerd.
You can be a nerd, it's fine.
No. Like, I love history. I love Black history. I love gospel music. So Chicago was actually started. I mean, gospel was actually started in Chicago, by a man named Thomas Dorsey. He wrote "Precious Lord, Take My Hand." So he's considered the founder, or what is he, the father of gospel music. And then he was the first person to really bring gospel into the churches alone. I mean, a lot of churches really rejected him because it sounded too much like the blues. But it's funny because we consider it traditional gospel now, and kind of saying that sometimes we reject the new music that's coming out now. It's the same thing was happening 100 years ago. But anywho, he connected with Mahalia Jackson, who was a Chicago native. She's not from Chicago, but she moved here like when she was 20, I believe. They got together and they really, made gospel big. And then James Cleveland was born in Chicago. Bear Sisters, the Caravans, Shirley Caesar moved to Chicago to be with the Caravans. So, but no, Chicago was I'm not just saying it because I'm from here, but Chicago was the birthplace of gospel music.
Yeah.
So, and Don Jackson, the CEO of the Stellar Awards, from Chicago as well. That's why they're building the national, what's it called? The National Museum of Gospel Music History in Chicago at the church that Thomas Dorsey and Mahalia Jackson were at as well. I believe he's in charge of that. So that museum, I don't know when it's opening. But no, Chicago's that place. And then I would say next up is my Detroit family. I like Detroit gospel. They're not the birthplace, but they contributed so much. Of course, Maddie Moss Clark, the Clark sisters, but you got people like Thomas Whitfield and who else was I going to say from Detroit? I can't remember, but yeah, no, they definitely have a lot of great stuff. Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Yes.
So
I'm telling you, it's the plethora of gospel music is amazing. I don't know, I just love it, and I like Vanessa Bell Armstrong too. That woman of God, y'all be slacking on her. She got some hits now.
Oh, she sings down.
I'm telling you, that woman of God, she be blessing me. I'm telling you. True facts, great info. My dad is from Chicago. Yes, Miss Karen. How you doing, Pastor T? That's my father. Hi, mother. But yes, we just gave y'all a little. Mr. Nate gave y'all little nuggets about that.
Just a little bit.
I feel like he got more to say.
Listen, no, I could literally talk about I could literally talk about Chicago and gospel music all day. There's nothing like it. Antoine, he's from Cosmo, Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer, and then we have Y'all Love Greater Harvest too. That's Holy Ghost headquarters out here. And then of course Fellowship. I could honestly talk about Fellowship all day. I honestly had a personal relationship with Reverend Clay Evans for about 1.5 years before he passed away. I never had him as my pastor. I know my stuff. I've been around the older folks a lot. And that's why me and Maurice get along so well. Also, because we like pretty much the same thing. I was actually just with him and the last living Barrett sister a few weeks ago.
I've seen it.
That was an honor. And then of course Mama Lou. I love the whole Evans family. And it's not because I'm at Fellowship now. I actually grew up watching Fellowship, on my computer, on my phone, or whatever, on YouTube, and I had no clue I'd be a member there. This is totally off topic, but to plug my church, I joined Fellowship when I want to say about 16 or 17 by myself. I didn't even know anybody there. I wasn't even looking for a new church home. I went there just to visit their 8 o'clock. Was it their 8? No, their 10:15 service at the time, and I was just visiting, and then it was like, then the Lord told me this is where you're supposed to be. And months later, I ended up joining, and a 16-year-old, 17-year-old going to a new church by himself. I'm an introvert, so for me to say that I want to go to a place where I didn't know anybody, and just start all over again, especially at that young age, was definitely something that I'm glad that I made that move as well. But during that time, I was able to meet people like Reverend Clay Evans and Mama Lou as well. Of course, Reverend Evans has passed on, but I got to spend the last year and a half of his life with him. I would go, me and my brother Brendan, we would go and visit him at the house where he was at the time. And then, of course, Mama Lou is still here with us. She was actually at church yesterday. And of course, we're always honoring her and giving her flowers. I believe she'll be 93 next month. Ooh. He was the minister of music at Fellowship from 1950 until 2000. And she still has her choir, Dr. Goodell Evans Reed in the traditional choir. And then she has a GMAC too, which is gospel music according to Chicago. But I recently found out she's retiring from both choirs. So this is next month. They'll be honoring her on Friday, July 7th at Fellowship in her retirement musical. So Nate Martinstein will be there. Fellowship Mass Choir will be there. Of course, traditional choir. So, but that's literally a living legend right in front of us. Somebody that's 92, 93, they saw it all.
Right.
So it's just important, that we, stay connected with these people and continue to learn our history. I can't even tell you how many times Mama Lou and Reverend has told us the history of Fellowship. Like, I know it in the back of my head right now. And it's like, y'all told us this story already, but no, it's important because one day, Reverend isn't here now. And, one day, hopefully far along, I know she's 92, but far along, when Mama Lou isn't here, there will still be, people like me that will be able to carry those stories along as well. So it's just important to know your history all around, not even just in gospel music, just, get to know where your family is from and, what's in your, Pastor Jenkins preached an amazing sermon one time called What's in Your Bloodline, finding out, your strengths and weaknesses that are in your family, what you can build upon, who was an entrepreneur in your ancestry. And, just like I said, just knowing your history in general, Black history, gospel music history, whatever it is, because, you can't really go nowhere until you know where you came from.
Right. So
those are my 2 cents. I don't want to start preaching, but those are my 2 cents on.
What are you passionate about? And I forgot to ask you at the beginning. What is some of the? I know this is historian is one of your passions, like one of your hobbies outside of music. So, do you have anything else?
No, it's really honestly just history, specifically Black history and gospel music history that I really love. So, and actually I've been early this year, my group went to 2 schools. One I really did by myself, the other one the group went to, and we talked about, gospel music history and black history, especially coming from Europe. The kids, it's important for us to show young people what they can do at a young age, because I think that a lot of people feel like you have to wait until you graduate or you become an adult to really start chasing your dreams. And I'm glad that I started Nate Martinstein when I was about 15 years old, because now that I'm 7 years in, I have a great gauge of what I really want to do, what the pros and the cons are, where I could have, let me say, grown, the areas I could have grown in as well. So definitely, I would just say, and that's what I was trying to tell the kids as well. If there's anything that you want to do, start building those connections now, start talking to people now. You don't have to wait. And I don't know what I was thinking starting the gospel music career at 15, but 7 years later, it's paid off, because now people are like, oh, you've been doing this for 7 years. Now you really got, some stuff under your belt, especially, when 10 comes around. And we don't, let me just say this. We don't celebrate anniversaries small. I don't really do anniversaries like this. We did 5, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. 10 is gonna be, y'all gonna have to just get there with us. But just having some things behind your name, and it's just always good, when you're just trying to get out there even more as well. So
yeah, I'm telling you, that 10 years gonna be something different.
Oh yeah. It's only 7, but I got stuff in mind. That's the thing.
7 for me in the industry too, but I can't wait to my 10 years too. 10 years of radio in the radio industry, it's gonna be like
10 is a milestone.
It's a milestone. And Black Music Month. It is Black Music Month. It's June right now. Speak so much history to celebrate upon. You better do it, Pastor T, now.
Listen, honestly, And that being said, please, y'all, please support Black music, specifically this month, but of course all the time. I know, especially, I'm gonna be real, graduating from college. Um, it's very helpful, when you all support Black music, especially gospel music.
Right.
Because yeah, that's another conversation for another day. But we have to support our own stuff, Black movies, Black music. And I'm just saying, if it's bad, because I'm gonna let you know, if it's bad, I'm not gonna support it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not just gonna support anything. But no, because what are we over here playing for? Like, I'm not your friend if I didn't tell you that was not good. I'm gonna be like, but I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you suggestions for the next time around.
But they can always take it down and re-release it too.
They could, but you know what? I think that there should be something to show that you've grown.
Yeah.
So, and that's why my original music, from me being 16 and 17 is still up, because y'all can go and listen and hear the journey. See, I got a witness. Listen, we're not finna sit up here and lie to each other in 2023. It's too much going on.
Yeah.
Especially post-pandemic. So that's life lesson number whatever that we're on. Tell your friends the truth, please. Do not let them go out.
I know with me, I'd rather you be honest, completely honest. Be completely honest. I think I'm a little too honest with people anyways. And they might think I'm a little mean, but I'm not being mean. I'm just gonna give you straightforward. But there's a way you can say it. And that's why I always have to say for instance a situation. I will always ask the Lord, okay, Lord, give me a certain way to say it so it won't come off rude.
Right.
So I'm not trying to be rude, but I want to make sure I give them my honest opinion about the situation or about the song. If the song sounds bad, like Nate said, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, it sounds bad. And they're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, I don't know what I'm doing in that area because that's not my degree. I give it to somebody that knows it and does that. But yeah.
Even going back to what you said though, earlier in the interview, you were like, you think that my group is very original. I literally had one of my group members tells me all the time, because I share other people's, independent original music. And a lot of times she'll be like, I've heard that before. And it's not even that it's bad, but she'll just be like, I've heard that before. And she just tells me all the time, it's like, Nate, a lot of your music is just stuff that it has a sense of familiarity to it, but it's like nobody is really releasing stuff like that. Nope. So it's good to have people in your, corner. Let me say this as well, not to just tell you, what you're doing wrong. You don't just want those types of people in your life. Like, have those people that are going to be, of course, honest with you, but that are going to support you and encourage you as well. Because I'm a big, even in my group, I tell them, don't bring me a problem if you don't have a suggestion or a solution. Because at that point, what are you telling me for? So I don't ever want to knock somebody down or anything. Like, if it's not, it's bad we have this conversation, but if it's not good, let me have something that's going to help you, get to where you need to be as well. And I think, once again, I'm glad that I started the group as young as I did, because now that I see younger artists, and that's so weird to say, because I'm young, don't get it twisted, but younger artists that are coming out that are, the age that I was when I first started, I'm able to give them, some advice or whatever on whatever they're working on as well, which is why I really have a heart for starting this independent artist grant or fund or whatever, so that I can, the group can support them financially in their upcoming projects and stuff as well. So
yeah, I'm telling you, it's good to see young people doing the work of the Lord. Honestly, I thought I was the only one out there, to be honest, because I didn't see none. But we got Nate now. Nate and Sign.
You come to Chicago, you can see them. Chicago is full of people that are doing great, especially young artists. But what I will say that I found to be the weakness, and not specifically in Chicago, but just anywhere, is consistency. A lot of people start and then things will get hard. And I tell people all the time, it's scary when you join the ministry, and then let's say, you're like, oh, I don't like this and the other about it. Leaving ministries prematurely is a very dangerous thing, whether it's a church, whether it's a group, whether it's a community choir, because if God told you to join it, if that's something that you really passionate for, and you're leaving, because of a bad experience, whatever. And I'm not saying stick around for foolishness at all.
Yeah.
But you can't be in ministries and operate purely off emotions, because stuff is gonna happen. No ministry, no group, no choir, no nothing is perfect.
Right.
So I just say that all the time. It's just like, you have to get over some. Well, let me not say some. I wish as the group leader that I could be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm not. I can't, stop the group just because I had a bad day or I don't like something that happened or whatever. So, but that's everybody's feelings are hurt easily these days. I'm gonna just leave that there. So you
you go ahead and keep that on, but I want to piggyback on what you said about the people's feelings be hurt. Guys, y'all gotta have tough skin in this industry. You cannot be in this industry and not have tough skin, because the industry will break you. Hold on, I heard somebody say this before. Break you, or make you. Okay, let me not. You know what I mean?
We understand.
Okay. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense in my head. Okay. So, but yeah, you just got to make sure you know the business too as well. And this is something I had mentioned on a live I did yesterday. You got to know the business. You cannot come in and not know the business, and you have to be willing to learn the business, and then get advice. Especially if you don't know. Don't go walking around acting like, oh, I know everything. I got everything all put together. I'm still learning. And I'm pretty sure somebody that's been in radio or been singing for like 40 plus years or been in radio for 40 plus years, they're still learning. Because, is a different mentality for radio.
Right.
Radio is completely different from back in the day to now. Like, there's a whole different, because you got internet radio, you got live podcasts, you got live shows like mine. It's evolving, if that makes sense.
Right.
You just got to learn it, and I just feel like I know on my platforms I do have platforms to help independent artists learn the basics. A lot of people. This is one artist I talked to. It was like, "What is BMI?" I'm like, how do you not know if you write the songs? So what you're trying to say is you have music that's out and it's not copyrighted. And someone can easily take your music, and you're not getting no royalties from it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the basic stuff you need to know. Even with the different type of media-based charts and the DRT charts, you got to know that too.
Right.
You have to reach out to the radio people. But I know I understand. Some of these radio people, I'm gonna be straight up. Some of these radio people will charge for that information.
It's a connections thing or a money thing. So.
Well, with me, I'm gonna give it to you because I'm all about helping. I ain't gonna charge you for information I got for free.
Right.
Why would I charge you for information that I got for free? Or I took a class, but that's why I didn't take no class, but I just got the information for free, and it's all about learning.
Well, that's what separates people that have a heart for ministry and serving and strictly doing it for the business, and that's in gospel, period. This is slightly a detour, but it's kind of the same thing with us singing and stuff as well, going to churches or whatever. Some churches are not going to pay, and then some will, but you can't, you just got to, and I will say this, a lot of my free thing, a lot of events I took for free ended up opening up so many doors for things in the future, years down, that ended up turning into paid stuff or stuff, exposure, opening up for big time people. So, but what you said is totally true. I would definitely recommend that everybody gets you a mentor or two, just somebody you can call and get some advice from. Even if it's somebody that's only been in there a few years more than you, they still have more. Get anybody that has more experience than you. I was fortunate enough, joining the fellowship to. I only had Pastor Nings as my pastor for I think about 2 years, but I was able to join and get access to a lot of things about the music industry, music industry and ministry as well, but industry specifically from him. He's a great great businessman as well. So anytime I have a question, call him, or Sean Mitchell is another great person that I've been able to get really great advice from. So I would always just say, just get somebody that knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing. Don't just get anybody off the street or somebody that just started yesterday, somebody that's really doing it and that you trust. And I would say don't be, too forceful either, because just remember these people do have lives.
Oh Lord, thank you for
Just
saying
be
that.
just be intentional. Let me say be intentional. Just be smart, be intentional. And if that doesn't work, find you somebody else. There's plenty of people out here that's doing it. So
I'm glad. I got to piggyback off of what you said now. Don't be aggressive. Aggressiveness is not needed.
I'm gonna say Nate Martin don't like that. They don't like that, but Nate Martin specifically does not like that.
I do not like that. It's kind of like a, if you're aggressive with me, oh my goodness, you ain't gonna get no response. I'm just gonna let you know. I ain't gonna respond to you. And if I respond to you, you ain't gonna get no response. I'm just letting you know, like straight up, you ain't gonna.
You didn't say it, but we heard it, so it's all right. All right. I'm right there.
Like, okay, I'll direct you to the email, and I really won't respond to you, if that makes sense. But there's some people that are really gun ho about their ministry, and I understand that you want them to play your music or something like that. That's why you keep on sending your music to them. Just keep on sending it every 2 weeks. Send it, because I know for me, I get a lot of emails every single day. So I'm gonna need you. Like I always tell people, well, I sent my song last week. I said, well, I don't see it. So is there any way you could send it again? And that's why with radio promoters, that's why I always say to the radio promoters that you have to always send the song. Keep on sending the song, because radio people are not going to get it on that first time, because we get so much emails sent to us every single day. And It could just be random emails and everything. So that's why I always that's why I always do it that way. And I tell them, okay, just send it to me one more time, and I'm make sure I listen to it, and I do it that way. And it just, I just wish more radio people were kind of like me, and I feel like the radio industry will be much better than it is now. I'm not saying it's bad, all bad. We have some good people that's really like all about kingdom and caring about the artists. I honestly really do care about the artists. And I sing from both worlds, because I sing with a group. I sing with a choir, I mean. So I see from the choir, it was weird. Let me tell you about this March thing. If you've seen the video at the beginning, that was, I was singing with VJ McCoy and Worship Experience. So that particular performance, it was weird for me, because I'm used to being in like video form, radio and stuff. And I was like, okay, I have to calm myself down a little bit, because I'm not in media type form. I'm a choir member, so tone it down just a little bit. I'm not saying dim yourself down completely. They will all know, like VJ know, oh Ben, we need help with this or something like that. Which I do the promotion for the choir, so I do that as well. So it was just a weird situation for me that day, but I kind of got through it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna be myself regardless. So yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, I'm done, because we're gonna be here all night talking about it. Hold on.
The Saints, like, they have the whole conversation. Like,
oh Lord, I'm so proud to see both young black men who are working to establish themselves. I pray that other black men who do this, you better preach it, Father. You better preach it. Would do the same for themselves. Hey guys, I pray that you keep striving and thriving in the Lord and all you do. In Jesus' name, I pray. You better look. I knew he was gonna do a prayer now. You better do it, Father. You better. One thing about Ben, I'm a hype man. I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna hype you up. Okay, amen. Yes, Miss Karen. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for everybody that coming on. Thank you, Nate, for coming on.
Of course.
We were supposed to Ben did this interview a while ago, but it came on the right timing. When you reached back out and said, do you still want to do an interview? I was like, oh yes, totally. And I'm excited. Excited what God's going to do for Sign. And anything else? Look, he said, let me be quiet. I did. He said, let me be quiet.